Yet another very misunderstood Sega system, the Sega Saturn. And while the Saturn kind of floundered in the US, it was very, very successful overseas. And I'm going to be repeating a theme over and over when I talk about Saturn. If you want to play import games, this is a very, very, very fun and easy to get into system that has a plethora of import games that never came here. That's the strength of it. With that being said, I am covering mostly the US Saturn stuff, but I'll be helping those who want to import along in the video. So this is the US Saturn. This is one of many bundles and pack-ins. Like I said, I have one box Saturn. I have another one that's somewhere, but again, I was searching up there and I don't have it up there, and I really don't want to go up in there. So we're going to deal with one box Saturn. So this is typically what a box Saturn would come with. The Saturn came out, it was really expensive. It was like 400 bucks, mid-90s, and competed pretty much directly with the N64 and PlayStation. And here's the box. Fairly small box, smaller than I thought. This shows the US original ugly controller and the system and some of the games in the back, and the system itself. So paper insert, take that out. You have a box Saturn. The AV cords are still plugged into my system over there, but your standard AV cables that only work with the Saturn. And the system, which is sleek looking. Instruction manual. This cartridge back here, this cartridge slot, does not play Genesis games. A lot of people, when they first got this system, said, hey, does it play Genesis games? No, it uses these. This is a backup. Pretty much allows you to save and save quite a bit on here. It's also good for these. This I recommend. #1 accessory for the Saturn. Get the Action Replay Plus. It allows you, it's like a kind of like a Game Genie built in. You can play imports, and it adds RAM so that you can play specific import games that require it. This is awesome. You can get it online, eBay, and like I said, several import shops. Get this, number one accessory. So the actual, back to the actual system, you know, nice sleek black looking system, you know, nothing two cartridge port slots. It's got some expansion slots that you'll probably never use, and you can get, just to let you know, aftermarket S video cables. Makes the system look awesome on a classic TV. Couple pack-ins. Mine had Daytona USA. Pretty much an orders form to get Panzer Dragoon demo disc and a Bug video game sampler. Now let's talk about the controller. That controller is not my favorite. It's kind of clunky. It's okay. Not my favorite. They released and brought over the Japanese controller, which is freaking awesome and one of the best Sega made controllers ever. Take the awesome Sega 6-button controller and then make it even better, and then you got the Sega Saturn controller. This is an awesome controller. I recommend this controller. Official, obviously it's an official licensed one. Go with that one and never look back. A couple things I do have that I don't, like I said, they made several accessories. Here's some of the more bizarre ones. They made a mission stick, pretty much a analog control stick for certain games. I don't know, not my favorite. It's boxed, it's interesting. I'm showing it in the video. They also made a net link late into the game of the Saturn, where you could net link pretty much early kind of net linked games. You know, with old school modem. Kind of neat to have, pretty pointless now unless you really are hardcore a Sega fan. But anyways, kind of neat to have in the collection. A Knights analog controller. Analog controller is good to play with Knights, which I have. It's complete. It's pretty fun. Controller is actually, I do admit that it looks like a precursor to the Dreamcast, which essentially it was. So definitely interesting. And another accessory that you may use, and when I get into the game sections, I'll talk about it. There's only a couple games that you'll probably will use this for, but they are awesome games. And for that, I don't like recommending accessories for a couple games, but these games are so awesome. I recommend getting this. Obviously, we're talking about Bomberman, the Saturn Bomberman, and Guardian Heroes, which is one of the greatest multiple player brawler RPGs ever. So anyways, for that reason, I recommend the 6-player multiplayer adapter. So that's essentially it for hardware. They made some fighting sticks, arcade sticks for the Saturn. I'm not a big fan. The #1 accessory, actually two. Get this. You need this. You'll want this to play imports. Get this. Even if you're not using imports, it's nice to have. You got your, it pretty much does this, but a whole bunch of others for the same price. And then if your Saturn didn't come bundled with this version, get this version of controller because it's better. Thank you for looking at this.